was basically no show last week because I wasn't there.
Hey,
Heyo.
Heyo.
No, yeah, it's good. It was a good show. It's a good show without me.
It's like reunited and it feels so good right now, you know?
Yeah.
I would
I'm
play the
down.
song, but I would really like not to get the channel get a copyright strike on it.
Yeah, that would not be cash money.
That's always
it wouldn't be.
Although they don't put copyright strikes unless you post just flat out the content, right? You can still get demonetized where you won't make money off of it.
Yeah, it's copyright strike if you're re-uploading a movie. So
don't do that, kids. Don't re-upload movies or NASCAR races. I guess or F1. Don't upload anything
movies.
F1.
Re-upload movies.
Don't upload anything F1.
Be a man.
Be a man and pirate all of your digital content.
We're talking about how Joe is a Coors Light guy.
I am not. That was never stated.
Joe is a Coors Light guy.
We were talking about how at 21 and 11 months I have barely lived anything. But I got this cool beer bat from the Tigers game, so that's cool.
Oh, did
you now? Feel better, Joe. I've never been drunk before.
I only drank half of it though, so not as impressive. So
yeah. You're I just wanted the bat.
I honestly I looked them up on Amazon and they were $10 on Amazon, so I was might as well split the cost of one and poured some out for a buddy and then drank the rest of it.
There you go.
Felt pretty cool.
Yeah. Did you all do anything else on Mother's Day?
I went to Gainesville.
Okay. Yeah. You went and saw a Florida Gators baseball game, I'm sure, right?
Yep, that's exactly what I did. Love me some Florida Gators baseball, baby.
Did you go watch it with Ryan?
Yes, I did. Ryan made the trek from Tally to Gainesville.
Ryan,
and we watched baseball together.
Ryan, technically a JTN creator. Did you know that?
Oh yeah, he made the video.
I mean, he didn't. What do you mean made the video?
Or he did the video.
The
thing.
idea.
He made the video. Yep. He's the creative brain.
He's the creative brain / statistician / he's got a T-shirt, so we had to pull him in as a creator. But yeah. That's how you know you're in at JTN. You get a T-shirt.
I have a T-shirt.
Speaking of Ricky still needs a T-shirt. Ricky doesn't have a T-shirt.
Ricky needs a good microphone T-shirt. You know what Ricky's T-shirt needs to be? It needs to be just text all the way down the front. He loves to talk.
in a word cloud shape of a microphone, just everything he says. Because he says, what does he say? He says, "My pleasure" a lot when I ask him to read the starting lineup. You can put on there. And this isn't a drag Ricky session because
it's fine.
Ricky is probably my favorite to work with just from the fact that I know what to expect. Tommy can be kind of crazy.
Ricky is nothing if not consistent.
Yeah. Ricky makes it a very easy job for Bristol and I.
Yeah. What about Weaver? What does Weaver do?
I feel like I haven't broadcast with Weaver enough to really give you a good. Weaver's just kind of inconsistent isn't the right word, but he's non-committal a lot of times.
Right.
With things in general, so I won't know if Weaver's for sure gonna do a broadcast until 6 hours before.
That sounds about right, honestly. Unfortunately.
Which is okay. Like I said, we appreciate Weaver, and then Tommy hasn't been doing broadcasts because he had something come up. I don't know. He's not gonna listen to this, so I'm kind of a little upset at him, but that's okay. Families fight, right?
Families fight.
I keep telling him when you come to Michigan, let me know, and he just kind of goes, "Ugh," so I guess he doesn't want to see me, which is cool. Okay, bro.
He's in a weird spot right now. Let him be.
I know.
Let the man be.
Speaking of families, I won a BMX race on Mother's Day for the second time in a row. So that was
yeah.
You have to give that to your mom.
Yeah. Well, I sent my mom a picture of me with my medal and just said, "I got you a dub for Mother's Day."
Wait, did you go BMX instead of going and visiting your mom?
My mom's in Wisconsin right now, so.
Well,
why didn't you go to Wisconsin?
Yeah.
That's where her family's from.
Why didn't you go?
Yeah.
Because my dad has a business trip in Chicago, and so while they're up there, they're going over to Wisconsin to see my mom's family. So,
Oh, we'll do something nice for your mom when she gets back.
I'm gonna. She's not
Are
gonna-
you?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not gonna make you give away the plans.
Why am I getting dragged right now?
Because it's fun. Because you get defensive. It's
This is
fun.
ridiculous.
So
my mom was very happy.
anyways, that was a classic cold open here on the Fake Racers podcast. We're so happy
Thanks
you're
letting everyone know that's the cold open.
Ricky
This is
Stenhouse
the
Jr.
intro
is
of-
plus 10,000 this weekend to win Kansas.
Here is
That's
the
pretty
intro.
cool. Here's the intro. This is the Fake Racers podcast with him, Davey Hazard, him, Matthew Steelman, and I'm Joe. So nice to see you again. Hope you're tuning
I might
in.
do that thing where I order food in the middle of the podcast.
And then
I
go get
normally
it.
keep it I normally keep it a secret.
Uh-huh.
This time I'm letting you
I
guys
thi-
know. You
I
guys can
think
be on the lookout.
This can be like our behind the scenes episode.
Yeah. I'm adjusting my mic right now.
Whoa!
Whoa, that's information I did not need.
Anywhere.
That's information I didn't need. My mic can't go anywhere. It's stuck
Yeah.
to this little thing. So if
Dude,
I want
I
to
have-
lean
Are you
back,
gonna get
I have to like
Are you gonna
hold
get a
it.
little mic flag that has our YouTube logo on it, so you look really cool when you go to the track?
No, are you?
That'd be kind of sick,
That would be
actually.
pretty cool, yeah.
Did we talk about the Fake Racers podcast sticker that's on that big like monument thing
We
that my
didn't.
dad put up?
We
Oh,
didn't.
that's cool.
You want to talk about that
That's
a little
cool.
bit here in the open, or you want to talk about it at the
Nah.
end?
Nah, it's fine.
He
He knows
but-
what he did school. I don't need to
Real
tell him
quick,
it was cool. He
I
knows it was
don't know
freaking
if you
cool.
passed the message along, but your dad is pretty cool,
Yeah,
sick dude.
Because like they were passing, so like my parents went on this long road trip recently. They're back home. Don't try to rob me. And they like saw this little like monument thing with stickers all over it. I forget where exactly it was. I could look at the picture, but whatever. But they were walking up to it to like look at it, and my dad looks at my mom. And he's like, "Look what I got." And he like had a sticker with him the whole time. She didn't even know he was doing that. And so he just stuck it up there.
And it's up there too.
It is. He climbed up on the.
He climbed up
the
on it?
B-word. Kinda like he was like stepped up. He was like on a ledge, kind of like
Okay.
12 feet off the ground. He like got up, and got it
I
high.
just figured he was that tall and he just jumped a little.
Yeah, could have. he jumps. I think
He's
he
got-
listens to this. I mean, he'll tell me
Got
he jumps.
sick ups.
He's got
He's
sick
got
ups.
sick
He's got a
ups.
crazy wingspan. He's basically Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Anyway.
Oh
Huh.
my god. I put a JTN sticker on the side hack, so that's cool.
yeah, and we're on your
Right up.
sponsor sheet too, right?
Yeah, I want a race sponsored by JTN. So
That's
cool.
awesome.
Um,
Most fruitful sponsorship
Thanks.
so far.
but yeah, the sticker on the side hack is right on the
It's only
dent on the rear
sponsorship.
fender from when we crashed. So.
That's awesome. I'm ordering my food now.
NASCAR odds are crazy this weekend. Holy crap!
Are they? Wow.
We'll talk about it.
DoorDash prices are always crazy.
And whoa!
Oops. I'm gonna go. Hey, you guys start the show. I'm gonna go turn my light on.
All
I was just
right.
going to ask, is this podcast ever going to start?
I mean, it's recording. You know, we were under the hour limit the last couple weeks, so
yeah.
they could use a real good long one. And boy, howdy, do we have a show for you folks. So make sure you stick around and keep listening, because here we go.
Smash that like button.
Click subscribe.
Tell your
Smash me,
friends,
baby.
tell your mom, tell your dad, tell your dog, tell your grandma.
We're going to have all the moments for you this week. All right, Cup
Stick a glass
Series.
to everything.
Let's start with the Cup Series. I know sometimes we do trucks and then Xfinity, then Cup. Let's start with the Cup because a lot of things happened. And did we all watch the Cup Series race? Did we all do our due diligence, or at least
I got
listen?
to see the last half of it because
I watched as much as I could. I saw the ending, and then I watched a highlight video afterwards to make sure that I caught most things. if I
Okay,
missed them.
that's great. All right,
Yeah, I basically did the same thing.
all right. So
So-
we're your thumbs, the guys' thumbs are like here. They're like
My
here.
thumb is like this.
Yeah. They're not like, oh, I watched flag to flag, but
Yeah.
they're in there.
From
okay,
what I saw, thumbs up.
It was
wonderful.
not flag to flag, but we're here. Race was good.
yes,
What I saw.
yes.
Didn't see any bad racing whatsoever. It was amazing.
Darlington
awesome.
overall was really good this weekend. mean,
It was. It was.
Trucks
Every
didn't have
series.
their moment. We'll talk about it. Xfinity didn't do anything dumb, so that was cool. And then Cup, the next gen car shines, right? I think.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, we talked about it Dover. It sounded like it within the industry was the last big test for this car. It's passed. It passed at Darlington. Nothing surprising there.
Mhm.
let's talk about issues for some pretty big names. First of which was, of course, Kyle Larson. Having a motor go out bad on him early. They had a pit road speeding or equipment out of the box or some kind of penalty that he was leading when he came down pit lane, had to go to the back, rallied back up into the top 10. The motor went kablooey. We're not worried. Huh?
Great predictions by me, by the way, from this weekend.
We're not worried about Larson and Hendrick, right? Like, we're not. Are we worried about? Are we getting to the point where, like, should we can't view Larson the same way we did last year? I feel right. Like, now we finally have to say, hey, this isn't 2021.
Yeah,
I think right now there's probably a lot of hopefulness, maybe a hopeful confidence in Cliff Daniels to get the next gen car figured out at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I would count on him doing so eventually.
Yeah. I mean, the problem hasn't been speed. Like I said, I mean, he drove to the front of the field and was leading and then penalty, but
yeah, fair enough.
But the consistency doesn't seem to be there. It doesn't seem like they're able to rebound as well as they were last year when Larson or Daniels or crew made a mistake.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. You took the words that I was struggling to say,
sorry.
and then you made them into a thing.
I'm sorry about that.
No, don't be sorry. You did a good job, Joe.
Okay. I'm being a good host. Am I doing a good job?
Joe, you're doing a good job.
Okay, I needed that.
You like alley-ooped him there. So.
Yeah, I was the alley and Joe was the
oop.
Yeah, it's been the whole field's kind of come back together, so you're punished a little harsher if you make a mistake, and then you add that onto reliability issues and like a number of wrecks that Kyle's gotten caught up in this year. So it's been hit or miss for a season so far.
That is something I noticed actually, is how little teams seem to rebound this season from problems.
Yeah.
I've like, usually you'll see a fast car kind of, if they have a problem, they don't usually have a huge issue getting up to the field. I haven't seen that as much this season. I know it's happened, but
yeah. But it seems like it's a lot harder to do.
Yeah. And I don't know what that is. I don't know if maybe it's just the competition is a little more stiff.
I think
everyone's closer together right now. Yeah.
I would chalk it up to that. Like, look, Cody Ware wrecked Denny Hamlin last week. That's pretty crazy. Whoa, he went there. Kyle Busch involved in an incident. Brad Keselowski sounded like he clipped. They tried to, on the broadcast, they were like, yeah, he overcorrected into the wall, and then in an interview he said he hit something. Whatever it may be, Keselowski loses a tire. Looked like the right front tire, straight into the wall. Kyle Busch is there. Contact bends the right front or left front wheel of Kyle Busch, and it's very important that I noted that because Kyle takes it and parks it at the entrance of the garage on pit lane. And there's going to be a breakdown of it because there's a lot of fun stuff here, but short story is Kyle last year in the Southern 500 went whipping through the garage area, got a $50,000 or $15,000, somewhere in there, fine. And this time he just parked the car and then said he couldn't turn the car even though the car was turned, which was the best thing ever because we all knew he knew he was lying. We all knew he was lying.
Listen.
And it's beautiful.
I know he's a punk B word.
Sometimes.
But man, I'm sorry. Like when it's him, it's funny. I can't help it. Like if it's him, I just laugh.
Clint Boyer getting angry about it, like, oh, he's parked right in front of William Byron's crew on the broadcast. I was like, Clint, they're not going to open pit road.
Sorry, when did Jeff get back in the booth? What the hell?
Atlanta, actually, a couple weeks ago.
Shut up, you idiot, dude. You're
Chad Knaus was also up there in the booth too. That was.
I hate you.
And Bill Elliott was in the booth.
Idiot. You're an idiot,
dude. Bill Elliott was so good in the booth. I really enjoyed listening to him.
It's funny to see Bill Elliott in the booth being pretty biased and Richard Petty being pretty biased too with the 43 car and stuff. Although it felt like they definitely fed into Richard's bias a little bit more with, it being the 43 car and, not his son. But family ties run deep.
Yeah. I mean, what do you expect? It's like when Darrell Waltrip used to be in the booth. People are like, dude, he's biased towards Michael. And it's like, yeah, it's his little brother. What'd you expect?
Well, and part of that, if you read, I don't know, it was Mikey's book or interviews with DW, but he talked about how he wasn't there when Mikey was growing up and stuff, and he still feels bad about that. So
yeah, Michael's talked about that publicly before.
Oh yeah, it was that blink of an eye movie. So it was the book. It was the book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, that was a tangent. Kyle Busch made me laugh, and I'm here for it. You know what? Here's the we've talked about it on here. We want personality from drivers. We want marketable stars. If Kyle Busch is not the most marketable star from a standpoint of he will do something and he will say something and he will lean into it. He will lean into it. I support it.
He does stand by what he says.
That's the one thing I hate about people. You say something and you do something different, or you say something and you'll do something, someone else does it. Kyle Busch, he'll get angry about it. He'll take it. He'll dish it out.
Matt is pissed right now because he is
But it's great. I'm not rooting for the guy to win. But you know what? If he wins, I've gotten to the point where I don't care because something good will happen. It's entertaining, right?
You know exactly what Kyle Busch you're going to get every weekend, week in, week out.
No, because there's different Kyle Busches.
No, you just about know. There's 9 times out of 10 you know the exact Kyle Busch you're going to get. I'm not saying he's always a D-bag, but you can just about
And I think part of it, not that it's an act, but I think part of it's kind of like you see it in wrestling where they talk about, oh, well, my character is me turned up to 11. I think a lot of times that's what he does. And I'm okay with it because it seems like family life and whatnot, he's kind of mellowed out and stuff. Also, before we move to the next thing, I don't know if they had their baby girl yet, but congrats to him and Samantha and having another kid. So good job. And good job with the whole bundle of joy thing because that's pretty kick-ass.
That's pretty cool. Agreed.
Anyways,
my take on the road thing was just I was
right.
at the BMX track while I was reading about it, and I was thinking back to 11 years ago when I used to race as a kid, and I was like, how mad would my parents be if I crashed in one of my races and then just left my bike in the track and made somebody else go get it? I was like, that would be so friggin' rude.
No, I do get that.
Yeah. So I was I get it from an entertainment standpoint, but I was I also think about from the perspective of the people who build the car, and they're like, wow, you couldn't even bring it back to pit road or back to the garage stall for us. Thanks, bro.
Yeah, it's not to say I would do that's not to say I would do the same thing he did, because if I was in a position he was in, I would be like, okay, let's get this back to the garage. I'd be with the team. To
be fair, driving that car more could do more damage to it too.
Yeah.
Not that's what he was thinking, but
yeah.
Before we say, oh, he's not in it for his team guys, a la what Ty Gibbs did at Martinsville a few weeks ago. Because let's not act like those are 1-to-1 things, because one is a lot worse than leaving the car parked.
An example was a certain subset of people who went after Bubba Wallace, and they were like, "Oh, he didn't drive his car back either," and it was like, well, yeah, because it was destroyed. So part of me is I don't know, maybe he couldn't get it into pit road, but you never know. So into the garage, but whatever.
You're treading on thin ice, Mr.
Only
Matthew.
Kyle knows, so.
Good runs cut short for Chastain first.
Yeah.
He gets loose on the bottom off of 2. It feels like the car with the floor and the diffuser go poo-poo.
The Chastain one was painful to watch, because if you've played any sim racing game,
you can't do that.
You've done that before, right? You'll get off the corner and then you'll feel the car unload, and then the left rear's off the ground, and then you're spinning.
It's literally what happened to me in our Darlington race.
Yeah,
my
exactly.
Car just unloaded off 2, and I killed the inside wall.
It happens so often, and you can't do anything about it, because as soon as you feel the car unload and it starts to go, the car is unloaded. You can't do anything. The car is turning.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing. It was such a painful thing to watch. The side view that they showed of it, where they came up off the corner, and Chastain, you could see the left side of his car, literally, get up and down on the exit of the corner. I was like, oh, he had no chance. He had absolutely no chance to save that.
Yeah.
And
it was maybe the best throwback in the entire field wreck too.
It didn't win throwback though.
Yeah, the one that won the throwback didn't even race.
Thanks, Chase Elliott fans.
Oh my god!
Shout out to NASCAR's Twitter for posting the clip of Chase wrecking and then saying, "I bet the 19 wishes they could throw back to the start of practice." That
I didn't see that. That's really
I retweeted it. That was too good. I wish I had that much energy to be that crazy saying something about the most popular driver, because I am sure, because I did not look at the comments, but I'm sure they were great.
I was trying to find it, but there was midway through last year. I love when like social media guys just go like full meme like that, because the
Yeah.
guy who uploads all the highlights to the NFL's YouTube channel started doing that, where there was like a bad play and it was just titled as like the Eagles season in a nutshell, uploaded by the NFL.
Sometimes you just got to lean into it. That's what I've
Yeah.
learned. Sometimes you just lean into it. But so Chastain obviously had his thing, and then Truex did the same thing later on in the race on a restart. Collected Eric Jones, who had a top 10 run going, and also both 2311 cars who had top 10 runs going.
Second time in 3 races, both of them basically wrecked into each other. So
Through no
Good
fault
times.
of their own, before people go, oh, it's that Bubba Walls.
That stack up on that wreck was insane.
yeah,
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Hey,
Dude, like so much happened so quickly.
hey,
Yeah.
remember how we always talk about, oh, Darlington's paved, you could drive anywhere? Guess what? You can't.
Dude, like I've never seen like a pile up like that in NASCAR. Like obviously you see pile ups like that at like Martinsville, but they're all going so slow. Like it seemed like the field just
Or Talladega or Daytona, right? Yeah.
just came together. Well, even then, it's like at Talladega, Daytona, there's a lot of sliding going on, and
I
cars
see.
are being
Okay, I see what
turned
you're
around.
saying.
But like it's like Martin Truex Jr. spun and then like stopped in front of the field,
Yeah.
and then the field just piled in. Like, it was insane. Watching the aerial view, I was like, that looks like something I would see on NR 2003.
I
would
was
see
so
that in a video
sad.
game.
I was so
it
sad.
did look like an NR big one. Yeah,
Oh, like with the I and I all edited, so the cars just piling. Like literally, it looked like that from the aerial view. It was hilarious.
yeah.
Felt
This
really
was-
bad for 2311, but oof.
I was gonna say this is like a peak race for 2311 because they had another loose wheel that they caught before Kurt left the pit box, and then recovered from it, had both cars in the top 12, and then they both wrecked. And I was like, "Yep."
Which I haven't
That's
seen
how I see it.
anything. That hopefully isn't a penalty. Because
No,
they're in
he didn't leave the box, so
Yeah.
we're fine.
I mean, he was out of the box, technically.
I mean, part of it was,
Man.
The
Is
wheel
there a
didn't
rule
come
about
off.
not having 3 wheels, of only having 3 wheels installed? I don't know.
but I don't think the wheel came off, did it?
It did. Oh, yeah. He probably tore up the diffuser on that car. They probably had to make so many adjustments to it to kind of combat that throughout the race. Because up until that point, he was running like bottom half of the top 20, and then a couple restarts, a couple good jumps, and Kurt Busch things.
Mhm.
But yeah, the thing that everyone wants to talk about, and we're gonna go round table format for this one. The finish to the race,
Oh boy.
nice and spicy.
Mhm.
Davey's gonna go first. Then it'll be Matthew.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then it'll be me.
Okay.
I also got a fan
So-
reaction to play.
Oh,
So
That'll be
Interesting.
good.
shout out Noah Joyce.
is it of Noah Joyce?
It might be.
Is it the picture of Jeg at the Roval when we were there and he's chewing on his water
Just
bottle?
just wait. All right.
I want this to be weekly from Noah if this happens. Anyway,
Um,
my take,
Yeah.
is you sit there, and whether it was on purpose or not, because like from the cockpit of the 22 car, he got put in the wall on that restart. He got put in the outside wall. He's stuffed in the fence, and if I'm William Byron, I'm getting the hell away from him as fast as I can, if I can. You know, I'm like I did that. That happened. My spotter should be in my ear saying, "All right, we put him in the fence. Don't let him get to you," because it's Joey Logano. Joey Logano. Once again, Joey Logano is nothing if not consistent. So
Yeah.
like we know he's gonna use the bumper, and he did it. And do I particularly agree with it? It's tough because he did get stuffed in the fence, but he didn't even go for a pass at all, which makes it a little awkward. Like I would have maybe had a look first. Okay, I can't make a look. He stuffed me in the fence. We're doing this. Like this is happening, Willie B. You're getting in the fence now. So I don't totally blame Joey Logano for putting in the fence. I think what he did is mostly fine. I would have tried to make a move before just rear-ending him, but that's Joey Logano. You knew exactly what was going to happen the second you put him in the fence. Your spotter should have been telling you. You should have been counteracting it any way you could have, and he didn't. He got stuffed in the fence, and he got mad about it. It's like, well, like that's. I mean, this is the most cliche BS thing I've ever said in my life, not just on this podcast. But you mess with the bull, you're probably gonna get the horns, and he got the horns. Oh well.
Yeah,
Personally.
I mean that's basically what I said at Coda was AJ messed with the bull and he got the horns, and that's obviously I didn't like it because I don't like Joey Logano.
Right. It's fine.
Just go. Just whatever you want to say it.
I'm trying to figure out how to word it properly.
No. Just whatever you want to say it. Come on.
No thoughts.
Just go. It's okay. We understand. I think you wore your city hat last week. We get it. You like William Byron. Go.
First off, I bought that for Cole Trickle purposes.
I don't care. Just go.
I didn't like the finish because to me the punishment didn't fit the crime because he just like flat junked Byron. But like at the same time, like Davey said, it's Joey Logano. What do you expect? So, and in retrospect, like I was live tweeting about it, but like that was.
I want that energy. Is what I want.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but I'm also the race that happened over 24 hours ago. What was I gonna say?
Am I gonna have to bleep myself?
Like whatever. It's Joe's like
angry.
mad that I'm not mad.
I'm mad that you come on here and you hide your come on emotions. I want them. I don't want this. Oh, I'm Matthew Steelman. I
thought you wanted how I feel.
I do.
Like I think it's kind of bullcrap that he jumped Byron, but at the same time, it's like Byron ran him into the wall. So it's like, what did you expect was going to happen? So, I mean, Davey basically said exactly what I feel.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
What can I say? I have good opinions.
I'm not Kyle Busch. I can't play the heel.
Nah, you're just scared.
What do you think, Joe?
Well, this is where I wanted to play Noah's clip.
Okay.
So I'm going to stop recording so I can share the clip with you guys, and I'll put the clip in the show.
Okay.
Well, yeah. Here's the clip, folks. Here's the clip.
Second.
Yeah, the way I looked at it, I mean, obviously, Davey, I know you're a fan of AJ Allmendinger, and you're not a very big fan of Ross Chastain. So, that was actually much more composed than I thought you were going to be when I was thinking about what this episode was going to be like today.
Oh, yeah.
The way I saw it is it's like, if you got to put it in the context of Ross is a guy who was running away with this win before a rash of late cautions, and he's trying to not only get his first win, but Trackhouse's first win. And you can put this in the entire context of Ross's career up to this. But it's a situation where AJ Allmendinger, he messed with the bull and he got the horns. Now, that doesn't mean that the bull is always right. You can make an argument that what Ross did was pretty dirty. But that's Ross Chastain. That's what you knew he was going to be desperate to win that race. And it's like what we said with Harvick at the Roval last year. If you're going to punt a guy, you got to finish him off. And unfortunately, he didn't finish off Ross Chastain, and he left himself open for that to come back.
So that clip was requested by the number one fan of the show, Noah Joyce.
So Matt just made Noah look stupid.
Yeah, hey, Noah, guess what? Just like Joey Logano and Kyle Busch, I'm consistent. Get dunked on.
I hope at least Noah probably could see the panic in my eyes when you guys literally said the same exact thing. The best part is that was a show I wasn't there for, so like
you had no idea.
Yeah.
Oh my god. That was good stuff.
Can I give my opinion, I guess?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sure.
That should be the same thing.
Well, okay, so the thing I don't like about it, and it's not the move itself, the whole, we didn't even try to pass him clean. Like, that, whatever. It's Joey Logano, we know that. We saw that at Martinsville. We've seen this before. If he's gonna win. It was doing it with 2 laps to go that gets me a little bit more, because Byron doesn't even have a chance to get a good finish. I know that's probably like, that's splitting hairs at this point, but
it is. It really is. Because let me tell you, Joey Logano, like hearing that point, he's like,
yeah, no, I know, and I wore my Penske hat for a reason.
Show your bias.
Yep, there we go. Because I'm a big. Everyone knows. If everyone knows me, I'm a big Joey Logano fan. That's what we
Big
all.
Joey Logano homer here.
Yep.
Yeah, biggest Joey Logano and William Byron fans here, obviously.
Obviously, as I think I have one Joey Logano car on my wall, even though they've made a lot more of his. Anyways, yeah, I don't like the two to go thing. I wish he would have. I think we all wish he would have tried to do it clean because it would have made better racing. It would have been a better content, I think. In the race, obviously better content coming out of the race because you get the comments from Byron, you get the comments from Logano, comments from Jeff Gordon. So it is what it is. Nothing nefarious like I think a lot of people try to make it out to be. That's the NASCAR we live in. And the people that keep going, oh, well, it's the win in your in system. That's why they do this. It's like, no, it's just the culture of racing has changed so much in the last 20 years. Like,
that's just Joey Logano. He's been doing that for a decade now. So,
hey, we've talked about it before on here too. The NASCAR garage area is to blame for Joey Logano being the way he is.
Yep. So
mess with the bull, you get the horns. Anyways, Xfinity Series.
Product of his environment. He's so mad.
The Xfinity Series, Justin Allgaier rallies from having a battery issue on pit lane to win.
Yeah.
Don't know why I didn't put money on him to win. Thought I did not. Lost money.
Proud of you.
So that's good. Put money on literally everyone else in the top 5 except him. So that was cool.
Nice one.
I don't know. Ty Gibbs fades late.
Blah, who cares?
Love
Yeah.
to see it.
JRM continues to be the dominant force in the Xfinity Series.
They were really good. Even like all of the teams were good. Josh Berry had his time up front. Obviously, he jumped the restart.
Yeah,
that sucks.
Could have been 2 years in a row. Allgaier and Barry 1-2 and like the 2 best throwbacks, and then Josh kind of.
I wonder if Allgaier baited him into that though. Like he had to have because it was. You don't. So like, if you're trying to like jump a start, you don't jump it that bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that was he got me levels of. Yeah.
I see that. I see that.
But it was a pretty entertaining race. Wasn't great, wasn't awful. That's kind of the Xfinity Series in a nutshell. It feels like this year. Not great, not awful.
Yeah. But some
no duds, right?
It's not quite like as good as last season, where last season there was just ripping off bangers of Xfinity races.
I think because the comparison to the Cup races is the big thing.
That's a good point.
The Cup races have been so good this year.
Yeah.
Hopefully that continues. But move on to trucks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Real quick, congrats to John Hunter. We'll talk about his truck win, but also good run. I think he ended up finishing second in the Sam Hunt car. So.
Yeah, I think it's their best run ever. I think.
Yep.
So.
But obviously, like I said, John Hunter wins the truck race. A lot of crazy moments. Shout out to Parker Kligerman for not killing the field and also winning a stage.
Stage one. Stage one was the real race, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured.
Just get rid of the rest of it.
Let's give Parker a full-time ride.
You like how I put that in the notes for you?
Yes. Because it's true and it should happen.
Also, shout out to that save that Grant Enfinger made. That was pretty cool. And then
that's what I was saying.
Todd
Thanks.
Bodine got a top 10 for the first time in a decade, so that was
That's
pretty
insane. Cool. He spun too in the middle of that race. Yeah.
This is 2 for 2 now that he's beaten his car owner Stuart Friesen.
Shout out to and Stewie's like second or third in points too. It's not like the 52 team's bad either. Like
I tweeted, I was like, Todd should just go full time just for the heck of it and see what happens.
One last time.
Yeah. It'd be funny to see if he can still cut it.
It's funny with Camping World, like how much sponsorship they did last year. And like I haven't seen a Marcus Lemonis tweet at all this year. It's weird.
He's been doing non-NASCAR giveaway stuff a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I've seen that.
It's weird.
I have seen that.
Weird. Camping World leaving the Truck Series title sponsor?
Question mark.
Hope someone lifts that clip because it'd be pretty funny.
I hope someone does, actually. That'd be really funny.
Oh, we heard it on the Fake Racers podcast, so that must mean it's true.
Imagine someone's sources.
That'll
Fake
be the
Racers
day.
podcast.
That'll be.
We need breaking news from our friend in Daytona who works for NASCAR.
We should.
Mr.
Well,
Steve Harrison.
No, blah 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 blah. I know, like
That's not his real name.
but you can trace it back to him. So you gotta.
Harrison Steve.
There we go. Can't trace that. But Darlington overall felt like a pretty good success of a race weekend.
It was a good weekend.
Speaking
Truck
of
race was much better than last year.
Haley Deegan still can't catch a break / isn't running well.
Isn't good, yeah.
That's very disappointing.
Speaking of a nice cup of yum.
Head on over now to the JTN merch store. Get yourself some JTN merch.
Delicious.
You can check out Ryan A. Pace's video unboxing to see what your JTN merch. It won't look like what Davey's looks like there. That coffee mug.
Oh my god, I can't reach it.
I was kind of hoping there you would knock it over and break it because that would have just been sum up.
Luckily, I have carpet.
It'd still break. That would
What if
sum
I
up
drop
JTN. I don't think. Can you know what? Let's not do that now. But when we get a new merch provider, I want you to go outside like you did with your camera. Please don't. Oh no, he dropped it.
I want to. It'd be really funny if it broke, because then I'd have to tread over a broken cup.
This is an all-timer. This is an all-timer of an
This is
episode.
a good one. This is a good episode.
We're like 30, 40 minutes in. Anyways.
Are we only 30 minutes in?
I don't know, because I stopped recording, remember?
You're an idiot. Oh my god.
Why? Why am I an idiot? Okay, anyways, F1 was in Miami. It was a disaster. Absolute disaster. No, I didn't watch it,
Mixed
so...
bag. Yeah.
I heard Gridwalk was dumb. Which... it seems like Martin Brundle doesn't know how to do a gridwalk, and then he posts about, oh, well, I don't watch these back, and it's like, I get what you're saying, but you shouldn't have said it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People feeding information to him that I can't remember who it was, but they were like, "Yeah, it's Pat Mahomes. Go talk to him," and it wasn't.
No, it was, I forget the guy's name, but I think he plays for Duke.
One moment.
He's a basketball player.
Yeah.
Not even the right sport. That's the best part. Doesn't even look like Patrick Mahomes either.
Tall African American man with curly hair. It's gotta be Pat Mahomes. So, great job.
What else did he? I don't know. It's just, man, F1 is. I don't get the appeal still. Like in terms of like the broader spectrum, just because I don't like. I think I've talked about it here. The whole. We're a bunch of rich dudes racing rich race cars, doing rich things, and I don't get it. The extravagance is what I don't get, I guess.
Yeah.
But,
I get what you're saying.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
I get what you're saying.
if like I watch it and I feel like I shouldn't be watching it because I'm poor. Does that make sense?
A little bit, yeah.
Hey, do you have, wait, real quick, best throwback of the weekend? Throwing it back to Davey, what he's eating right now. Bought it, Kurt Busch wrecked it. It's not his fault. It was a joke. It's a joke.
Dude, I loved after that wreck happened when Bill Elliott was like, "Yeah, that paint scheme never really had a lot of good luck, did it?"
I guess
I missed that because I didn't have sound on.
We lost over it.
So
The
good.
Fox booth was pretty good. Richard Petty was definitely the one that was probably most out of his realm, but thought they did a good job with him. And then Bill did a really good job, and you could tell he was probably talking with Chase a lot this week.
Yeah.
And then Bobby Labonte works for Fox Sports, so I wasn't at all concerned about how well he would do. Jamie McMurray's going to be in the booth next week at Kansas.
Blob. Yeah.
That'll be interesting. Because I feel like a lot of us said he should be. But anyways, back to F1.
I've always liked Jamie Mack as well.
Yeah.
Okay,
Back to F1. Because I'm sure that's what everyone's tuning in for. It's going to have a big vocal presence on the thumbnail, even though we'll only talk about it for like 6 minutes. Davey, any thoughts on the grid walk since you were away?
And no, I didn't get to watch the grid walk, unfortunately.
All right, I didn't either. I didn't really care. I just think it's funny that people put so much emphasis on pre-race, and then the F1 pre-race is a disaster, and it's like, haha, this is what you keep saying we should be. That's what you want.
I'll be honest. The F1 at Miami stuff, I kept track as much as I could, but I was mostly keeping track of like how the event went, not necessarily the race.
Yeah, I feel like I didn't see as much about it as I did for Coda last year.
Mm-hmm.
Am I right in thinking that? Like,
yeah, I think I'd agree.
I know it was on ABC. I flipped over to it a couple times. The course looked okay. It didn't look great.
Yeah.
Yeah, drivers didn't really like the third sector very much.
I honestly,
saw like the middle sector.
I saw more celebrity posts on social media about how they were in Miami for it than I did about any of the racing, about anything. It was more of an event, which apparently, according to like people who were there, an event that wasn't an event. Like there was nothing to do. There was no activation. I mean, there was some obviously, but like there wasn't a lot of activation.
Go buy your $120 ball cap.
Yeah. Oh god. For the race itself, it was a solid race. We had a good battle between Max and Leclerc for the lead. It was oh my god, which AlphaTauri was it that collided with Lando?
Gasly.
Yeah,
I have that in the notes.
Oh, it is right there. Yeah. The late race safety car, and then unfortunately, Mick Schumacher and Sebastian Vettel wrecked from the points, which was a bummer.
That was painful.
Yeah. So,
two things I like: Haas and freaking Sebastian.
Yeah.
Was he wearing his underwear outside of his fire suit, or was that someone just memeing?
No, he was. It was there was a couple protests. Okay,
I know the jewelry thing.
Yeah. And Lewis had 3 watches on, which I got a kick out of.
And they're like, watches count as jewelry.
Like, yeah, but they were like, yeah, you can't wear your jewelry, and he was like, all right, I'll just not race then, I guess.
He had 3 watches on and like 80 rings.
Yeah, and like 4 chains, and his ears were pierced too. So I thought that was pretty funny. And like he straight up said, he's like, yeah, I'll just go find something to do in Miami if they won't let me race. Because when you have 7 world titles and 100 wins, you could do whatever you want. And then for Vettel, what was the deal with that? They were telling him like there was like a certain kind of underwear he couldn't wear or something. I don't know.
It was something like that, and then he wore.
I just thought it was funny.
Yeah, so he wore his underwear over his fire suit.
Like I said, I'm not like the biggest F1, but like I can get behind Sebastian Vettel and all the things he's done the last couple of years. So.
There's been a push over like the last 5 years to where drivers have become like more and more outspoken and kind of more flamboyant. Because like, honestly, I think Daniel Ricciardo is like the one who kind of spearheaded it. Because up until then, like F1 drivers were very like stingy and like super serious, and then Ricciardo is one of the first guys who brought like humor to the paddock. And then McLaren gets bought out. What?
I was just gonna say, so they're becoming more like IndyCar. Anyways,
yeah, a little bit. And then McLaren gets bought by Zach Brown and goes from the most boring team on the grid to the most fun team on the grid. And now everybody's just like showing their personality more. So that's fun.
Zach Brown's American, right? Or is he?
I believe so.
I feel like he has to be if he's bought into Arrow.
Yep, he is American. So
yeah.
Overall, solid race, but you know, like a lot of first-time street races in America,
I just
problems.
I can't get over the pricing. We talked about it like the thing that makes racing so good, in my opinion, is, and it makes any sport good, is that it's, you know, anyone can go. And none of us would be able to ever probably go to that F1 race without, you know,
excuse me,
sacrificing a lot to go to it.
Yeah.
I'm sure for some people that sacrifice is definitely worth it, and I'm not trying to like say, oh, that you're dumb for that, because if it's something you like and you get enjoyment out of it, you should do it. But I will never understand the, like, you use the word flamboyance, and they're talking about the drivers, but just the whole of that motorsport of the European open wheel racing scene. So
it is a bit of a culture shock, as
it's not even
No, it is. It is.
I don't
Like you hear it all the time. Like even in the industry and like the drivers and people in the garage areas and the paddocks, like it's a different world. Totally,
Yeah.
totally
I
different
mean,
world.
a perfect example is Michael Andretti tried to go run F1 in '93, and this was like right when he was peaking as like a superstar in IndyCar,
Mhm.
and like he talks about how the team kind of had a bias against him because he's American, but he's like, we have our way of doing things in America, and then in Europe when we go F1 racing, it's like ultra serious all the time, and it's like you one of the things he talks about is how he wanted to commute from his home in the US to the factory in the UK. And he's like, yeah, just give me a phone call and it'll be like a 6-hour flight and I'll be there. But they're like, no, you have to be 100% about the team all the time, always,
Mhm.
So there definitely is, like David was saying, there is a culture shock. Like when you first started getting to F1, just like how it's more than just like racing. It is an absolute industry.
I think it's the difference between like how like American football here and then football overseas is viewed, right? Like you're indoctrinated with a club from a very young
Yeah.
age,
Yeah.
and it's kind of that same thing with the way they have their tiers with their programs and whatnot. So,
Yeah.
again, I get it. Like, yeah, it's the European way of doing things. There's a lot of people out there that I think they look at F1 and they look at it, oh, it's this great thing, and it is great in its own, like, has its great things about it. It also has some pretty bad things about it. So,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and a lot of that too is down to like origins, because if you look at how people look at NASCAR, they're like, oh yeah, it's a southern thing that a bunch of rednecks do,
hicks
whatever.
running beer in their car, yeah.
In F1, it's a thing where they usually only go to one country once a year, so it's like this huge event when they get there. So they can kind of get away with selling it like that, unlike NASCAR.
Mm-hmm. And it's always been the most luxurious cars. It's always been the newest technology.
Yeah.
It provides even more reason for it to be seen as upper echelon.
Yeah.
So
it brings us
the Miami Grand Prix.
If you didn't know F1 was high money and high dollar, then there you go.
Yeah,
it is.
It brings us into this next thing really well that I wanted to talk about, because there was a lot of back and forth on social media this week about like, oh, should NASCAR be worried if F1 outdoes them? F1's on ABC, NASCAR's on FS1. I don't think they care. The first thing, I think there's a lot of people talking about that always get angry about NASCAR going for newer fans and stuff, and then they buy into all what F1 has done to go out and get newer fans. And in some ways say do what Formula One has done, and some ways say don't do what Formula One has done. But
NASCAR fans don't know what they want. Color me surprised.
I don't think racing fans in general know what they want.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, IndyCar got kind of thrown in there too, because if F1 gets big enough here, it feels like they lose some of their stake. I don't know how truthful that feels, especially since F1 races for the majority of the time will be either early or won't conflict at all with IndyCar races.
Yeah, not to mention there's 2, maybe 3 F1 races going to be on US soil every year compared to 20 something for IndyCar.
If you're not at the same exact time slot, I don't think it matters.
Yeah.
And it seems like the networks have been more than willing to make sure that you're not at the same time on the same time slot.
Yeah, I really don't know if any of us can even speak on like what F1 popularity does to the popularity of IndyCar and the continuous growth of IndyCar over the last few years, or like how that stunts it, if it does at all. But I would hedge a bet that IndyCar higher ups and the IndyCar paddock is quite worried about it regardless, because they probably don't really know either. So it's kind of an interesting thing where F1's just grabbing all the space in America, trying to grab as many people as they can, and IndyCar like is just kind of like watching the side like, what do we do?
Yeah.
What do we do? I don't know. Like, is this bad? I don't know. Like,
and I don't think they can do anything different from what they're doing right now. You got so many races on NBC, right? Like,
yeah.
I I don't know. I get the worry. I also, like I said, I don't know if they're completely direct competition.
Yeah, and the tough thing about it too is you don't know if F1 getting popular in America is going to spur on more viewers to IndyCar or it's going to pull them away from IndyCar, you know.
Mhm.
So
A mess. It's a mess. It's fun though. It's fun
Yeah.
though. Before we get into more real racing, let's first talk about the USORL Chase starting this weekend. Davey, of course, won at Michigan this past week. Congrats, Davey. It was live on JTN. Go check it out. He won a fuel mileage race. He beat our other good buddy Sean Whitehill.
Oh my god. When I won the FTF Daytona 500, I screamed a lot. I was yelling. I was fist bumping. I looked like an idiot in my dumb little chair right here. When I won this fuel mileage race, the first thing I did was I yelled into voice chat, "Did I just win an effing fuel mileage race?" And then I muted my microphone and screamed just like I won the Daytona 500.
Oh my god.
I was so freaking happy. I've never been that is the second happiest I've ever been after winning a race ever. That's my first ever fuel mileage win. I've never won one up until that point. Oh my god. I've been sim racing since 2008. Never won a fuel mileage race. I'm it still freaking excites me. I cannot believe I did that. That's awesome. Oh, it's so cool.
Nice.
The chase starts this week on JTN with Iowa as the opener. I think we have 3 or 4 more races of the final 10 as well. I don't know how many Chris is doing with Fast 29, but we'll make sure to plug those when he is broadcasting, and you can keep up with the USORL Cup Series. You can also get some USORL driver merch on our JTN merch store. So.
Yeah.
Congrats, Davey. I was happy
Regular
for you.
season champion.
That too. Got those bonus points.
I called it too. I
got
called
it out of nowhere too,
season
because it was 11 points. That was a pretty big deficit. You really needed Huang to money shift it.
Dude, I did, and he did. The deficit. I wonder how high the deficit was at its highest point. Like, it must have been, I think, like 40 points or something like that.
Probably.
And against Hoang and Tommy, those guys are fast, man. Yeah. Anyway, very happy about that. I'm gonna try and continue the prophecy I set for myself last year after I lost the championship again in the last race again, and I'm gonna try and win this championship for y'all.
All right.
JTN's gonna win a championship this year.
Yeah, woo.
I'll be sure that the first people I think are Joe Twansky Network, Bristol, and then Joe Twansky Network 2.
That's not it, but yeah. There's a reason we
What
do
do you
Joe
mean?
Toe. We don't do Joe Twansky Network.
What is Toe short for?
Toe.
That's a lie.
It's not.
Toe is short for Twansky.
Sure.
Is your middle name Toe?
It could be. You don't know.
It's not. It's not. I know it's not. Shut up, idiot. Stupid idiot. Dummy. Shut up. I hate you.
You just made Joe sad.
Yeah, oddly enough, you're probably not the first person that said that to me today. Anyways, IndyCar.
Stop it, Stink.
IndyCar back
Stop
home
it.
again in
I hate
Indiana this weekend for the Indy GP. Really wish I could go.
Go.
I can't. Do you
Why?
remember how I just said we have a broadcast Saturday night?
Well, that's lame.
Just
bring a laptop.
yeah, trust Weaver or Ricky to run the stream. Yeah, okay.
I said bring a laptop.
I can't stream from a laptop.
Says who?
Me.
Not with that attitude.
Been there, done that. It don't look good. Anyways.
All right.
This, of course, will kick off the month of May. I don't know how important it is to win this race. We've seen drivers win it, have really good months. I think Will Power won this and then won the 500 the year he did. Simon Pagenaud did the same. How important? It feels like it's just another race. It's an excuse to go to Indianapolis. You know, I'm sure it's a cheaper event for IndyCar, right? You're running at your home track. You own the track. But
Yeah. It does feel it does this race,
especially
like,
with two of them now.
I enjoy this race, but I do think it does kind of feel like a precursor to,
which isn't,
it's not a bad thing.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like a nice warm up to it.
Yeah. Yeah, I will. Yeah, definitely keep the rate. Like, I'm not saying it's a bad thing at all, but it does feel like it's like when's the real one? Like, come on, guys.
It's weird too, since we run this track twice with IndyCar, right?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
you go back in July, the last weekend of July, to do the weekend with NASCAR, running the doubleheader with the Xfinity Series. Which is, again, I cannot tell folks at home, if you are in Indiana or have the opportunity, that was the best weekend racing wise ever that I've done. Just because you got the Xfinity and IndyCar the same day, and then you also got the NASCAR Cup Series the next day. Even if you just went for Saturday, it would be worth it. So
right, that's cool.
And you get trucks at IRP too if you do it right. So
that's right.
Ooh, yes.
It's gonna be good.
Oh, that actually got that was a real reaction.
It got better. Last year was really good, but man, I wish I would have been able to do it this year because it better now, boys. Any predictions?
I'm gonna take Garden.
Okay, I'm gonna take Grosjean.
Romain Grosjean.
Because we can never count him out. Scott Dixon.
Shut up! I hate you.
Can't wait for Grosjean to bulldoze his way over the rest of the field.
About it either. So.
I literally will never count that man out of anything until he is mathematically and physically unable to do anything. Yes.
Yeah, that's fair.
I was at a cornhole tournament 3 weeks ago, and you'd be like, "Oh, where's Scott Dixon at?"
I'm saying, seriously, it's like a really good taste of what non-Jimmy Johnson fans felt like forever.
Anyways, NASCAR is heading to Kansas this weekend. You got trucks in ARCA. We're not picking ARCA because but
Boring.
trucks are on Saturday at 7.
Is there an entry list out yet?
Probably not. Just pick Parker.
Wait.
Oh, it might be. I think I saw the Cup one actually. So
yeah, the Cup one's out. Yeah, we got one.
Is Parker in it?
No.
Is Ross Chastain in it? I think he is.
No. Wait, is he?
It's 41.
41. No.
Oh my goodness.
Yo, what a bunch of losers in the truck series this week.
All right, so John Hunter Nemechek will win.
Riley Herbst is starting. That was on purpose, by the way.
A cough or Riley Herbst?
Riley Herbst.
Is that who you're picking?
No. I said a lot of losers in the truck race. Riley Herbst is entered.
Mr. Race Car Driver. He said something interesting in his post-race interview, talked about, Monster coming back was really big for us. So I wonder if they're almost done.
They almost pulled? I bet they almost pulled. Oh, no. All right, I'm going to go Carson Hovercar.
I hope so, man.
He's got to win one eventually, right?
No, yeah, he does. He's been so fast, too.
To the people calling him Daniel Hemrick 2.0, I don't think you realize Daniel Hemrick's career arc, but go off.
Yeah.
That is a... yeah. That's disrespectful.
I'm going to go with Chandler Smith. I thought about taking Stank Room again, but...
That Hattori doesn't feel like Hattori of old.
No.
And by Hattori of old, I mean since when Brett Moffitt went there for the year, and then...
They also don't have very good drivers, so...
Yikes.
Hey, where's that Ankrum truck? Do you have it handy?
Is it handy?
If it's not, it's okay.
I think it's in my...
Well, if it's not handy, don't get it. That's why I said, is it handy?
Actually, I don't even know where it is.
Anyways, you can head to circuitdiecast.com, use code JTN, get yourself your own Tyler Ankrum truck since Matthew can't find his.
I found it.
Oh, it was on the floor.
Was it handy?
No, apparently not.
I built the desk this weekend, so my room is still a mess. So
you cleaned your desk, so your whole room is a mess.
No, I replaced it.
You replaced your desk. That's right.
Because I punched a hole in it on accident.
As one does.
Okay, Kyle.
When are the diecast reviews coming? That's what I'm wondering.
No, I don't know how to make YouTube videos.
That's a lie. You both owe me a couple diecast reviews now.
I owe you one.
I owe Joe 7 at this point.
Did you get your Alex Bowman Pocono car yet?
They shipped today.
Okay.
The Pocono car and the
Nashville
one. So I have 4 1/24th diecast reviews. And
that Nashville car is going to be awesome.
It's the color chrome one too.
Yes. Oh. Woo!
Keep an eye out on JTN too for that content.
I want to see that one actually.
Coming next year.
Yeah, pretty much. If anyone knows anything about the Makita truck series,
over there.
Do you remember if it had the dirt tires or not?
It wasn't a raced car, so I don't think it did.
See, but my Eric Jones Tide Kart isn't a race car, but it has the dirt tires.
It might.
It's over there. You can't see it from the glare.
Wait, hold on. Pull those out real quick. Let me see those.
Got some Vans Ultra Ranges because my blue ones have a hole in them now. So.
Woo! I think I have because I think I have Ultra Ranges. I think I have the yellow Ultra Ranges.
They're pretty nice. I've had
they're nice
for about a year, and
they're in another room, but yeah.
So they're not handy.
They're not handy.
So
yeah.
Super glue that back together. There you go.
So there's a few different kinds of Ultra Ranges, but yeah. Anyway.
Anyways, Cup Series is also in Kansas this weekend. I don't think anyone's ever picked Ross Chastain to win. So, Ross Chastain.
All right. Give me...
Although I would really like it if someone besides Ross Chastain, Kyle Larson, William Byron, Joey, like anyone that's won yet, I want a new winner. Dang it. I want 16 winners. We got 10, I think.
Give me... You know what? Mom said it's my turn to pick Tyler Reddick, so I'm going to take Tyler Reddick.
And Davey's going to take...
I'm picking the winner this week.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Who's that?
Daniel Suarez.
I was going to say, is it old Danny Suarez?
It's Danny S. Danny S. Wes. That sounded motivated. Anyway.
I would just look back if you're like looking at stuff. Look back to Kansas. Look back to Kansas. No, look back to Las Vegas. Mm-hmm. That's the only similar track we've run this year. So I
was gonna say Ross was pretty good there too.
He won a stage, and people were like, "Whoa, how did that happen?" And then he led like 30 more laps after it.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Whoa!"
Like 2 months later, and they're like, "Yep, Ross is up front again."
That pesky Ross Chastain running up front in a back marker car that people probably still like. Your opinion on Trackhouse has to be so much different now. So, stop being like, "Oh, he's an underdog." He's not anymore. So with all that being said, that was this week's edition of the Fake Racers podcast. We hope that you enjoyed the show. I think we all did. It was a pretty good episode. It feels pretty good. It's good to have everyone back. We'll probably hate each other next week, but that's okay. What?
As is tradition.
Yeah, that's the tradition, Davey. Come on. Love thy neighbor, then hate thy neighbor. It's All-Star.
You can find more about me from
next week's All-Star Week. Isn't that crazy?
Twitter at Davey Hazard, Instagram at D7H5, and Twitch at D7H5er with an ER at the end.
And Matthew.
You can find me on Twitter at msteelman51. I would not recommend following me. And also, I'm actually trying to post on Instagram more, _unofficial_bay. Had a good Thin Lizzy reference on my last post, so that was pretty cool. And my YouTube channel, Dale88 Rocks. Because who needs brand synergy when you can have different names on every website? So.
And remember, folks, you can check out JTN 2 right here. Check out main JTN. We got, again, a bunch of great live races coming up this week with Maverick Cup Series later, on Tuesday the 10th, which is when this will come out. Then the Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series, of course, on Thursdays. USRL Cup Series, and next week we have ISRL. We have Maniac Racing League on Wednesday. We have Mondays of Thunder this Sunday night, too. Like, this next week is a crazy week for us on JTN, so it's going to be a fun one. You're going to want to make sure you don't miss any of the action, so... Yeah.
Yeah.
And follow us on Twitter and TikTok and Facebook, Johto Network. We got links down. You can use our code JTN at circlediecast.com. Free shipping, order $30 or more. JTN merch store. I think that's it. Any closing arguments, thoughts?
Parker Kligerman should be in a full-time ride in every series all at once.
Parker Kligerman is inevitable.
Yes.
All right, cool. That was this episode. We're gonna bring our energy down so we can say it for you guys next week, and we'll see you guys next week here on the Fake Racers podcast.
No, you won't.
Bye.
Honestly, Davey, you said no, you won't, and I'm still recording. This is like a little epilogue. And I was like, dang, that's pretty true, because this is the first time in a while we've all
You
been
thought
here.
this podcast was over.
Hey, you heard Matthew do his bye, and it's not over.
But wait, there's more.
No, but really, bye, guys. Have a good week.
Bye bye.
See ya.